welcome to Let's Look at the Podcast. Hi, I'm Katie. Let's get the show started. So today, I would like to start with a recap over the weekend with the NFL draft with the Washington Commanders. First and foremost, congrats to all the draftees that was drafted to their respectful franchises and the life-changing and being able to continue to do what they love to do in their professional career. But I would like to speak about the Commanders. It's one particular person that they were, give me a second. It was one particular person that I want to speak about. The very first pick. I was at the draft day party in Washington D.C. at the National Harbor. It was pretty good. The community and everyone came together as one. The energy was good. The live band, the event, everything turned out to be pretty good. A lot of celebrities and players and fans and everyone came out and showed love to one another. And I would like to say thank you to the Commanders and everyone else that put that good event together. But the player I wanted to speak about was the first pick for the Commanders, which was Emmanuel Forbes, the cornerback from Mississippi State. He's a ball hawk. He's a playmaker, a difference maker from his resume. Last year, I believe he had 6 interceptions. For his collegiate career, I believe he had 14 interceptions with 6 returning for touchdowns. That's pretty good. Everyone seems though, most fans wanted a different player at that selection. I believe the Gonzalez cornerback from Oregon, I spoke on him. I was high on him. He's very talented, even though I believe he started only for 1 full season. Force is just what the Commanders wanted. Now, everyone wants to talk about, seems like that's the only thing they want to talk about, is his weight. He's 166 pounds, 172 pounds. Can he play football? That's it. That's all that should matters. People always want to judge his books by his cover. But can he play? That's all that should matter. Do he come to perform and show up and show out, which he has proven on his resume. So he's a difference maker. He can actually get the football, turn it back over to the offense, which in the football, that's pretty good, giving more opportunities for the offensive team to put more points on the board. So he's a difference maker. Not saying Gonzalez was not a difference maker or could not be a difference maker. I just don't believe they was comfortable enough with him to go with him for 1 year of starting in a collegiate level. Ford's been starting, I believe, since he's been a freshman, and he's been performing against some of the top athletes in his conference. So congrats to him, and people just need to be a wait-and-see type of ordeal, because they was giving out the same energy with the first pick from last year with Jahan Dawson at pick 16. They said that was not a good pick. That was a reach, this and that, and you saw how that worked out. So you have to give someone the opportunity to do their job, like the Commanders and the coaching staff and the GM and the scouting department. So far since Ron Rivera has been there, yes, they have made mistakes here and there, but overall, they have made some great selections and or pick up some good free agents to help this franchise to continue to where they want to be, which is back to the promised land and getting back to winning football games for this community. That's all the community wants. They just hungry to get back to that winning status, you know. So congrats once again to everyone that's joined the Commanders this year. I'm looking forward to you all helping this franchise turn this whole city and community around. So moving on, I would like to start with Apple. Seems like every week, every hour, every episode, someone is always affecting the community, right? In a bad way. Apple, an employee sentenced to 3 years in prison for stealing $17 million from Apple during 2011 through 2018. He is also ordered to pay $30 million in fines and penalties. 17 million, 7 years. Through mail and wire fraud scheme. That's what he's being charged. 55-year-old was originally charged in March of 2022 and later pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud Apple and related tax crimes back in November of last year. And the person also admitted he started making money from his employers around 2011, like I stated, by accepting kickbacks, stealing parts, inflating invoices, and fraudulently charging Apple for goods that were never delivered. People are trying to find ways now. This was back in 2011, so I'm not going to say the pandemic, right, forced their hand. But for a brand of that magnitude, for that brand of that magnitude, for that to have happened for that period of time, it shows that they have something that they still need to continue to get better at, which is the company, right? 7 years for someone to take $17 million. That's a lot. Not sure if they knew or they wasn't certain if that person was or they didn't have enough evidence, whatever the case may be. It shouldn't have went that long. Next up, I saw something came from the radar. The Secretary, Treasury said that the U.S. said that the U.S. by June might run out of money. Let that sink in. That the U.S. will run out of money if they don't come up with an agreement and no deal. Will run out of money by June, and this is May. So people need to be prepared. If not, haven't been prepared so far, you need to get prepared at an all-time high, because the way this world is going, you gotta be ready. Moving on. So, Target. I haven't been at Target so long, but yeah, Target, right? For Target stores closing their doors for good in May, and final sales are underway. On May 13th, 2023, the giant retailer will be shutting down 4 locations as they plan to restructure its business, like a lot of these big-time businesses are. Each store closure is due to a low sale and decrease in foot traffic, a story many retailers are facing. Target isn't the only retailer shutting locations. You have Party City has filed for bankruptcy. Party City, y'all remember Party City? These kids we used to go. Leading to several stores closure. Similar, Bed and Bath Beyond multiple stores after recent filing Chapter 11. Bed Bath & Beyond is close. Um, they are calling this a retail apocalypse by the financial experts. While the closure will be a loss to the community before shutting down for good, shoppers will have the chance to score tons of great deals. The location starting in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Center City. They said it was like 19,000 square foot store, only opened 7 years ago, 2016. Nearly 45 stores. Employees are able to relocate to another location per target. So that's an inconvenience. I'm not sure how their transportation is, so it's not a guarantee that they will be able to even get to the next one, right? The next one is Minnesota Monopolist, right? The small format style was part of his plan to rethink brick and mortars by having 12,000 to 80,000 square feet instead of its 145,000 square foot average. Locations between the West Lake Street and Lagoon Ave on South Fremont Avenue. The third location, Maryland. Their location is at 7501 Baltimore Avenue in College Park, Maryland. The store will also close on the 13th of May. And the fourth one and last one is in Virginia. Their location is 500 I believe South Washington Street and Falls Church. They also will be closing May 13th. So you have big brands, stores. People need to wake up. I know people want to provide for themselves and their loved ones, but if you don't have a way to work, what you want to do? Next on my radar is IBM. I know most people must know who they are. They will be pausing hiring and plan to replace 7,800 jobs with AI. So they're replacing humans with robots. Okay, so the International Business Machine Court expects to pause hiring, as I stated. Roughly 7,800 jobs could be replaced by AI in the coming years, which the CEO said. The Bloomberg News. They're saying in back office functions such as human resources will be suspended or slowed. Adding that the 30% of non-customers facing roles could be replaced by the AI and automations in 5 years. It says 2023 to 2028. I believe that might be, they say 5 years. I say probably half of that, right? They made comments about this comes at a time when AI has caught the imagination of people around the world after the launch of Microsoft quarterback opens AI viral chatbot ChatGPT in November of last year. The reduction could include not replacing rules vacated by the PC maker told by the Republicans. The ABI did not immediately respond to them. Of course they won't respond to them. But almost 8,000 people they're going to replace with robots. Like I said, every episode it's a new brand. Every week it's a new brand, big brand that are just letting people go to help them save money. And as a company, I understand that. It's nothing wrong with looking over your books and making sure the money is good for the better sake of the company moving forward. But once again, if you can't get a job or have all these degrees to work at these certain type of brands that you was looking forward to work for or working with, may not no longer exist. Another thing came across my radar: Starbucks. Yes, Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks or buy any, get any products and no service from them, but they will reportedly start charging for no ice. People, you want some drink? Yeah, a little bit of ice, hardly no ice. Just give me no ice. They're gonna charge you for saying no ice. The coffee giant will soon be instituting a charge for no ice drinks, and customers aren't happy. Of course not. Right? Have your ice, right? After several recent decisions and releases that have left fans of the coffee chain cold, including customers reporting stomach issues after consuming their new olive oil infused coffee, discontinuing the popular raspberry flavored syrup, and upcharging for non-dairy milks. Rumors have begun to swirl that guests will soon be paying more for no ice, light ice, or no water in their Starbucks refresher drinks, a common request for those trying to get more bang for their buck from every sip. Man, you gonna charge people for not wanting ice? Like, you gonna force me? It's a lot that's taking place in the world today. Next, right? Body parts, right? Woman charged with selling 11,000 of stolen body parts to a man via Facebook group and PayPal. An Arkansas woman charged for selling stolen body parts to a Pennsylvania man has pled not guilty. She pled not guilty. The indictment unsealed last week in the federal court in Little Rock, Arkansas, accused Candace Chapman Scott of setting up a transaction for remains with the man she met through a Facebook group. Scott pleaded not guilty to 12 counts, including conspiracy to commit mail fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property, and interstate transportation of stolen property. Scott worked at the Arkansas Central Mortuary Services, where she transported and preserved remains. The University of Arkansas for Medical Science in Little Rock sent remains to the mortuary after they have been donated to the school for medical students to examine. She was finessing that. Separate state charges in Pennsylvania named the buyers as Jeremy Lee. He is not identified in the federal indictment. Scott messaged Paula on Facebook in October of 2021. I believe the indictment says, over the next 9 months, the indictment says Scott sold brains, heart, lungs, genitals, large pieces of skin, and other body parts. Scott made $10,975 in 16 separate PayPal transfers. So they charge for coffee, they selling body parts, jobs out here, shooting missiles, shooting balloons, school systems messed up. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so now I know the gamers out here, right? A lot of people converted over. Yeah, a lot of people converted over from Xbox to PlayStation. So I have Xbox. Doesn't matter. I mean, I grew up with the PlayStation. I'm a gamer with the PlayStation 2. I just prefer the Xbox. But this is for the PS5 people. Software sales dropped following an increase to $70. The PlayStation console has been a massive success for the Sony, but it seems that isn't translating to game sales. according to numbers released by the company, games unit sales in 2022 were down 39 million from the previous year. That 264.2 million units sold in 2022 versus 303.2 million in 2021. While first-party game sales have stayed largely the same, third-party game sales accounted for most of the chop-offs, with 220.70 million units sold in 2022 versus 269.30 million in 2021. Despite this, game sales revenue increased as software prices jumped from $59.99 to $69.99. I've noticed that the games definitely went up $10 to $20. They say they're going to get their money. Well, we don't know, right? The people is spending more money. Now this one was landlords. I guess a bill required to inform tenants of legal aid when issuing evictions. This is in New Hampshire. Senators are considering a bill that would require landlords to give information on legal aid to tenants who are being evicted. House Bill 379, which passed the House of Voice vote earlier this month, will mandate the eviction notice given to the tenants, also including the contact information for New Hampshire legal assistance, which helps represent low-income residents in eviction cases. Informing tenants of their rights could help reduce unnecessary eviction. The bill was intended to address situations where legal representation could have actually made a difference, where a judge might have ruled in the tenant's favor if they had counsel and had submitted the proper motions. And this is by Ellen Red, said landlords often do have attorneys they rely on as part of their business. Reed says, arguing that HB 379 would help tenants balance the scales. Of course it would. If you are opposed to it, and you're saying that you want to keep a tenant in the dark, so they do not have the ability, their legal counsel they should have the right. She said, in other words, you as a landlord want an unfair advantage in court. Of course they do. The bill is supported by New Hampshire legal system, which provides assistance in conjunction with the 603 legal aid. I'm all for that. Doing what's best for the people, informing them with information and or the representation as stated to help them further their life. Who wants to get put out? Definitely in times like this. So yes, anything that will help move the envelope forward, for the lack of term, to help the people get the help that they need to fight. I'm all for that. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay. This was a long jumper. Right? A U.S. long jumper, I think his name is Tara Davis Woodhull, has been stripped of her recent national indoor title and hit with a 1-month suspension after a positive test for cannabis. The U.S. anti-doping agency. They still testing people? Don't worry about it. Tested positive for THC, chemical found in cannabis, marijuana. Her positive test was from the result of a sample collected in a competition at the 2023 U.S. Track and Field Indoor Championship. It was in New Mexico on February 17th, the same day she had won the title with a jump of 6.99 meters. So they're going to drug test her when she won, right? Davis Woodhull, 23, has already completed her suspension, in which she began serving on March 21st. The positive test means. Now, I know people feel some type of way about cannabis. Um, I don't feel like anything is particularly wrong with it. Now, if you are a professional athlete, some of these institutions in corporate America do not want you to partake in these type of activities. So these athletes has to be mindful. If you want to do what you want to do, you have to do something different, because they looking for opportunity to not give you what you deserve, you know? So why not treat yourself, you know? So looking forward to her coming back and doing what she loved to do. Clouds, just the clouds in the sky, right? They said that clouds carry drug-resistant bacteria across distances steady. It was a team in Canada and the French researchers. Dark clouds on the horizon are potentially signaling approaching storm, because they were found in recent studies to carry drug-resistant bacteria over long distances. These bacteria usually live on the surface of the likes of leaves or soil. It's a lead author that Florent said in a telephone interview. We found that they are carried by the wind into the atmospheres and can travel long distance around the world at a high altitude in the clouds, he told FP. The discovery was published in last month edition of the Journal Science of the Total Environment. The researchers from Laval University. It's a Central France search for an antibiotic resistant gene from bacteria found in the cloud samples. The samples were taken research station. They said 1,465 meters, 4,806 feet above sea level atop the Dome in the Central France between September 2019 and October 2021. And analytics of the retrieved mist revealed that they contain between 330 to more than 30,000 bacteria per milliliter of cloud water, for an average of around 8,000 bacteria. They also identified 29 subtypes of antibiotic resistant genes in the bacteria. So you got stuff mutating in the clouds, in the air. I heard that it might be a new strain that's surfacing around the world. Out of the country for right now, for what I saw. I don't want to say that the exact country, but I've heard that something is going on with that, and they asking people to be on the lookout, things in that nature. So with these things come across my radar, and people are once again doing what's best for them and their loved ones to provide, and they're just doing what they can actually see, what's on the surface or what's in front of them. You have to start thinking what's best for the long haul, not only for you and your loved ones. You have to invest into something that you love, that will bring back peace and happiness. I know. Most people do work for someone that they don't really want to work for. I say let's change that narrative, should change that, and work with or partner up with someone that you would not mind working with, and help change the world. Because right now, if not, the world going to change you. Hi, I'm KD, and this is So Get the Podcast. See you later.